Welcome to our winter instrumental concert. How many of you were at Barnes & Noble on last Friday out in the storm? Good job. So you already have heard a little bit from them. They were awesome last Friday at the mall. They did a great job. And I know that they're going to wow you tonight. Without further ado, Mrs. Clark, I know she's here, is the director of the orchestra. Let's hear from Mrs. Clark and our orchestra.
Welcome to the LMS Instrumental Concert. The performing group order will be orchestra, concert band, and jazz. We ask you that you stay for the duration of the concert. Following the concert, we will be having a fundraiser at Scoops and Swirls. Thank you for your support of the LMS music program. Enjoy the concert.
Our first piece is Frosty's Caribbean Holiday. The words and lyrics by Stephen Nelson and Jack Rollins, and arranged by Ralph Ford. This fun, classic holiday tune will get your feet tapping and dancing in the aisles. Travel south with Frosty and enjoy the trip before he melts. Thank you to the percussionists that have joined us in performing this piece.
Tchaikovsky, composed by Peter Tchaikovsky and arranged by Richard Meir, born May 7, 1840 in Russia, and died November 6, 1893, St. Petersburg, Russia. Incorporating 22 different melodies from the works of Tchaikovsky, this often hilarious medley includes the 1812 Overture, accompanied by the popping of paper bags. Some of the works are from the Nutcracker, Sleeping Beauty Waltz, and the March Salve. We hope you enjoy this classic piece.
dark adventure composed by Ralph Ford is our final selection tonight. It's ghostly, it's creepy, from the driving opening motives to the quirky gypsy-sounding theme. This haunted house music is at its best. Thank you to the Period 3 Red Concert Band Percussion for performing with us. It has added a lot to this piece.
Hi everybody, welcome to the concert band portion of the LMS 2007 Winter Concert. During this time you'll hear the LMS concert band perform. Our concert band has been working very hard learning how to play several works. We hope you enjoy our performance. Our first work, opening at Disneyland in 1969 and at the Magic Kingdom in 1971, the Haunted Mansion has ever since been one of the theme park's most popular attractions. First greeted by their ghost host, voiced by Paul Frees, guests assemble in the portrait gallery as they wait to be led to the Doom Buggies to begin their haunted adventure. At every turn of the ride, various permutations of the signature tune, Grim Grinning Ghosts, are heard as the unique surroundings change. This arrangement for concert band is complete with graveyard wailings and clattering bones in the xylophone. A delight to play and a frightful lot of fun to listen to. Please enjoy our performance of Grim Grinning Ghosts. Arranged for band by Joseph Campello, the Band at the Opera is a medley of some of the world's most famous and recognizable music themes from all of opera. Beginning with a fanfare by brass and saxophones, the medley opens with the Toreador March from George Bizet's Carmen. The medley then segues into Vesti la Giubba, literally meaning wear the jacket, from Ruggero Leoncavallo's Pagliacci. This title is a metaphor in English for the show must go on. After a brief statement of the theme from this opera, we move on to the Anvil Chorus from Giuseppe Verdi's Il Trovatore. Finally, the band concludes the medley with an exciting setting of Gioacchino Rossini's finale from his overture to the opera William Tell. For the safety of our concert band members and of the audience, we will omit the part of the opera involving an arrow being shot through an apple resting on someone's head. Thank you. Enjoy Band at the Opera. Composed by Eddie Pola and George Weil in 1963, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year is a work that is in triple meter, or has 3 beats per measure. This work was first recorded and popularized by Andy Williams. Since then, several other notable recordings of this piece have been released and recorded by Johnny Mathis, Patti LaBelle, Amy Grant, and Harry Connick Jr. However, including the aforementioned artists, there are over 400 documented recordings of this work, both vocal and instrumental. Please enjoy our final piece for the concert band portion of this program. It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Okay, our first piece is called Tequila. This Latin rock piece was composed by Chuck Rio and recorded and released in 1958 by the Champs. A number of jazz musicians have also covered this work, including Dizzy Gillespie, Wes Montgomery, Perez Prado, David Sanborn, and George Benson. Perhaps the work is most recognized in popular movie culture in the 1985 movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure, during a scene in which Pee-wee wins back the admiration of a group of bikers by dancing to the song on top of a bar, shortly after knocking over their motorcycles. Or maybe you recognize this piece from 1993's The Sandlot, during a carnival scene when the group of ragtag adolescent ball players have a night out of fun that includes trying chewing tobacco for the first time while enduring an oscillating thrill ride. Needless to say, the scene ends very messy. This arrangement is by Michael Sweeney and features the following soloists in this order: Arnav Agarwal on trumpet, Anushka Palchaudhry on flute, Prem Anamalai on trumpet, Jack Granahan on alto saxophone, Emma Quattrochi on trumpet, Vikram Siva on clarinet, and Sean Mills on trombone. Just wanted to announce their names first so you all could hear who they were. Without any further ado, we're going to get started with Tequila. This is a good audience participation tune. I think you know the word that you need to say on this one. Do you know it? All right, I think you know that one. Here we go, Tequila. Our next selection was written in 1928 by brothers George and Ira Gershwin. Embraceable You did not debut until 1930 when it first appeared in the musical Girl Crazy. Shortly thereafter, it quickly became adopted and adapted into the jazz idiom and is now considered by many to be one of the top 25 jazz standards in a collection of songs referred to as the Great American Songbook. There are over 1,000 documented recordings of this work, and recording it may be considered a rite of passage for a jazz artist, similar to blowing over the chords to I Got Rhythm or a 12-bar blues. This arrangement is by Roy Felipe and features all wind sections of the jazz band who at some point perform the melody. You'll also hear Arnav Agarwal play a brief trumpet solo with bubble harmon mute reminiscent of the late 1950s sound that Miles Davis is credited with establishing for jazz trumpet. Additionally, there is an alto sax solo performed by Kate McCann and Liam Ripberger. Here is Embraceable You.
Thank you to the Lawrence Township Education Foundation, LTEF, for funding our recent grants from the last school year, new LED stage lighting, Triumph Music Honor Society membership, and commission piece for the LMS Orchestra with Raynard Burns. These programs would not be possible without your support.
Thank you to our wonderful LMS and District Administration, Ms. Malofsky, Principal, and Mr. Wazinski, Assistant Principal, Dr. Bareksa, I don't know how to pronounce that, Supervisor of Technology, Fine Arts, and Practical Arts, the LTPS Board of Education Superintendent, Dr. Edwards, Director of Instructional Services, Dr. Zucker.
Thank you to Mr. Zumchek, our LMS choir/theater arts teacher, for his behind-the-scenes helping with orchestrating this concert, for his endless enthusiasm that keeps us on our toes. Thank you, Mr. Sam Yemen, LMS head custodian and team, for helping keep our school clean. Thank you to Mrs. Orico's Period 4 Cardinal Time class for helping us fold the program. Also to our supportive LMS staff and main office staff for their continued support of the program.
Thank you to the district for funding the new stage curtains and electronic screen on the stage. Also our new conductor's podium. Thank you to the families and students that were able to come out to our 2 recent performances at Barnes & Noble and the Trenton Farmers Market.
Thank you to the Willis Greenhouse in partnering with us on this evening's fundraiser. If you ordered a flower, please wait until the conclusion of the concert to pick up your order. The flowers are labeled with the student's last name.
Thank you to Scoops and Swirls for partnering with us on our fundraiser tonight. Please bring a flyer and stop by for a cool treat following the concert. We hope you have a fabulous winter break. Happy holidays.
Okay, I also wanted to thank a few people that are up here on the stage that might not look like they belong in middle school. I don't know if you noticed that or not. They're sitting all the way over there on the end. I had a couple of students that, for one reason or another, couldn't make it. Someone got injured, and someone had to attend to some family affairs overseas. So I'm fortunate that I had Elliot Hammerstone on tenor saxophone. Give a wave, Elliot. Elliot is an LMS alumnus. Filling in on tenor, and for my Barry sax, I'm very fortunate to have our new music teacher at the LIS, Lawrence Intermediate School for Instrumental Music. This is Mr. Kevin Hoagland, filling in on Barry sax. Thank you, guys. Okay, now it's time for our final selection, a jazz tune from the 50s, the 1850s, that is. Wait a second, how can this be? The jazz style developed through the 20s, 30s, and 40s. How could we have a jazz tune from pre-Civil War era? That's because this song, which has become a staple seasonal classic, it was written in 1857 by Bostonian James Pierpont and originally titled One Horse Open Sleigh. It was later copyrighted and published in 1859 as Jingle Bells or One Horse Open Sleigh. The first recording of this composition was made some 40 years later on an Edison brown wax cylinder. This piece is performed in many styles, not just jazz, but it was the 1936 Benny Goodman recording of Jingle Bells that helped pave the way for all the jazz cats to adapt this and adopt this into their repertoire. In fact, not more than 10 years later, in 1943, a version of this composition performed by Bing Crosby and the Andrews Sisters was released. That version has since sold over 1 million copies. The version you'll hear performed tonight is by arranger Carl Stroman. It's in a swing style, at a medium tempo, with a heavy backbeat feel on 2 and 4. Soloists include Arnav Agarwal on trumpet and Priya Patel on clarinet. You can clap for them, go ahead. Additionally, there are several rhythm section breaks featuring drum set player Noah Lehrfeld, bass player Laura Martin, and piano player Vidya Vedula. The piece ends with a final motive from the piano, giving the listener the needed dominant tonic, or 5-1 as we say in jazz relationship, to give the piece closure. Thank you again, and I just also wanted to thank all the students, not just the jazz band, but the concert band and the orchestra. Fabulous job. I just wanted to say that. Thank you guys. Round of applause for yourselves. Here's Jingle Bells. We hope you have a very merry holiday season and a happy new year.